Hey guys, this is Kerry Martell, the RPG Fanatic here, and I'm once again showing off some Duchess gameplay. Now, I wasn't able to get quite what I wanted this time around for Duchess in terms of spells. I had to basically go with some Stone Digger sorceries instead of a more holy oriented casting. But I did manage to get a Black Blade, which has holy damage on it. I also got a Aired Steel Dagger, but it doesn't really have what I'm needing in terms of damage on that. In any case, we will clear on this, and you will see that even though I wasn't able to quite get the caster build going that I wanted for Duchess, we were still able to make it clear. I'm not really sure why the Revenant is using a spear, to be perfectly honest, but nevertheless, we are able to clear this match. Now, Stone Digger sorceries, if you can actually land the damn things, do tend to do pretty good. Now, I am using the weakest version of the Stone Digger sorcery, not the charged version that does like this crazy drill that really burrs the HP down on enemies, and I'm having a hard time landing it. What's really nice about it is that it has a bunch of poise damage on it, so it can stance break enemies, which is something that Duchess really can't do very well with her daggers. But she has Holy on it, and this boss happens to be really weak to Holy. And during his second phase, it actually will stagger the clones and make them less aggressive, which is very helpful. So, as I showed in my previous video, a lot of people don't seem to understand how to actually play Duchess, because they try to build her as a melee exclusive character, and they completely ignore that her highest stat is in intelligence, and her second highest stat, other than dex, is in faith. So she is a caster class, and unlike Recluse, she doesn't have the ability to regenerate FP, with internally through her abilities. She has to rely upon items in order to do it, just like every other character in the game. If you're building a melee character centered around a Spirit Ash, like, say, Eruption, or carrying Grandeur or something, you need to have FP recover on hit items and other types of ways to increase FP, like such as having flasks and having the Starlight items. Now, unfortunately, I didn't have any of those when I got into this match, so I wasn't able to constantly use the magic the way that I wanted to. But to be honest, the only really good spell I have is this Stone Digger version, and I have a hard time landing the damn thing to poise break him. So I ended up just using a lot of daggers with to do damage. Now, I do have the ability that lets her trigger a restage when she finishes a combo. What a lot of people don't seem to understand about this is that she's not restaging just her own damage. She is restaging the damage, just like the regular restage ability. She restages the damage that the party does within those few seconds. But I'm pretty sure it's not as strong of a restage as the actual restage ability, though. So the value of it is somewhat limited on bosses and co-op that have really huge health. Now you can see I'm making tons of damage with that Holy Dagger attack, and this is really why it's so important for people to be able to actually use the elements that you're supposed to use against the bosses, because it will trivialize some of their mechanics. And again, people seem to misunderstand what I'm saying. When I tell you that it's a hybrid caster class, I'm not saying you never use the dagger. Obviously, you have to use the dagger to recover FP. And if your build ends up being, like mine, that you didn't really get the ability that you wanted, then you have to kind of go with what you've got. So we do clear, and that was the footage. So hope you got something out of this and enjoyed it. I will see you guys in the next video.